Order.
The Honourable
Chairman.
Damien O'Connor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And as my colleague says, Mika Paitari says that we support the bill and we do see the value in it proceeding. The Select Committee, under the reasonable chairing of Mr. McKelvey over there, did, I think, a very fair job in working through all the issues. They did seem kind of technical, and we could repeat them for the House here in the country. People would probably go to sleep rather quickly, I think. And it came down to basically commercial tensions between those who are developing new ideas for old products or new products, and how much protection we should give for them in their innovation or in their creation, I guess, of new products. And New Zealand is an agricultural nation. We depend upon agricultural compounds and veterinary medicines to, look after our animals and to protect our crops. And I read an interesting statistic today saying that up to 50% of the production through the world is destroyed through pests and diseases. And so while we are striving to feed the world, what we grow, 50% of it is wasted, and then that of which we produce, a third of it is wasted again. And so the world can produce enough food if we, in fact, use the proper products to protect the crops from diseases and the animals from diseases as well, but then we've got to actually do some more work after the production. Mr. Speaker, I digress a little, saying that the balance that we were trying to achieve here was that those companies that invest money in new products needed to have up to eight years, I guess, guaranteed protection for the IP, but those who took innovation, that is that they saw an existing product for a crop, they thought we could use it on another crop, we'll do the research and development. They too are protected through the use of that information in getting that product certified. And certification of these products is absolutely essential if we are to continue to maintain our reputation of producing the finest quality food in the world, free of residues, safe to eat, and indeed being the highest quality. And that's done through proper application of these compounds at the right time, at the right rates, and as a kind of part-time or hopeful boysenberry grower and dabbling a little bit in horticulture, I understand full well the importance of what we are passing here to ensure that nothing that I or someone could put on their crops could put a residue in the crop that might then be identified in a foreign market and us be shut out of it. To come back to the issue, in my view, which was the guts of it, was adequate protection for the companies, for their intellectual property, to ensure that in this relatively small market of ours, companies will continue to innovate and do the development. On the other side was the argument from some farmers, and traditionally farmers have always wanted the cheapest possible import costs because we don't have subsidies, and in fact our survival depends upon our ability as primary producers to get our products to market and make enough money along the way to ensure it's a sustainable production system. Come back to the point, we don't want to, in protecting the intellectual property for the companies, and we do see it in some areas of pharmaceuticals and in other areas where companies will invest money and then seek to reap, I guess, not just profits, but super profits back for that innovation. We need to keep a balance between a fair return on their investment, keeping the cost for the producer down at a viable level, but encouraging, of course, innovation. So I think the committee in general has done a good job. I'm not going to go through the technical parts of this, as I say, Mr. Chairman. I think, people are probably not that interested, but I know that the industry and farmers and the production system are looking to have this legislation passed, which is why Labor is supporting it, supporting the government and supporting the Select Committee and all the good work that we have done to move it forward. So I'll leave it to other speakers to perhaps focus on different, more technical issues. I don't see the need to do this, Mr Chairman, and I'm happy to leave it to my New Zealand First colleague. Kia ora.